Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So new Snake-Eyes, new archetype. I guess, combined with also that small tainted package that was revealed a couple of days ago. So let's take a look. I've played so many builds or variants for this archetype with this deck, these two new archetypes. And this particular version I like the most, as in with a small invoked package. Speaks for itself, right? One only negation, quote unquote, but more so is the gimmick of the Snake Eyes. The Snake Eyes, they have a couple of level ones, the Snake Eye of the dices, that you can send like another card from your side of the field to the graveyard that includes like a field spell that you used up and that's useless sitting up on the field, to kind of lone fire blossom another Snake Eye from the deck. So basically you could tutor out the other ones, right? Set them up in the graveyard and then end on, and that's the biggest gimmick of the deck, their boss, and that's their level 8. That it's kind of good, but for now it feels a little bit too fair. What does this new boss do? The most right one here on my side of the field. It's level 8 fire one that you can target any monster, let's say in your graveyard for example, or on the field, and put it as a face-up continuous spell. And that's, can be any face-up monster, or it can be any monster, it doesn't really matter. So I was thinking of, maybe the barrier statues, get it in a graveyard, and then, put it in a spell and trap card zone, and then during your opponent's turn, immediately during their draw phase for example, you can special summon a monster that's being treated as a continuous spell, right? So that's the gimmick of the deck. And like other things, and that's why the Horus cards are there, is that this new boss, your level 8, triggers when it's sent to the graveyard. So it's like sent, right? Not discarded, but sent. So that includes the Horus continuous spell, send it to the graveyard, and then your boss reborns 2 level 1s from the graveyard. So, and all things pair up together. Stuff like Jet Synchron and Kurikara, for example, are good in the deck simply because your blue one, your blue Snake Eye, it can search, any level 1 fire type from the deck. I think it's something like that, yeah. So you can search Jet Synchron, you can search Volcanic Shell, and that's why Shell is there. I was running like a much heavier Volcanic package before, but I didn't really like it that much. The big problem with these two new archetypes is that their ending board is not the strongest. So, I'm looking at other stuff to potentially end on, more negations, more follow-up plays. And that's why, the Horus cards and Invoked, it blends well together. So again, Horus cards gives me more draws with, Giant Trainer, I guess. Depends, right, if you want to keep continuing. Okay, the thing is that I haven't spoken about the Tainted card. So I'm only running one, Dark Witch, the level 7 spellcaster on my right side here on the field. I feel she's a Dark, so because of the Bestials, over time you could definitely add in more. The thing is that I feel for now one is fine because you can search her with the Quick Play spell. The Quick Play spell is basically the one that's now banished on my side of the field, which basically searches your Diabloster. And currently I think there's only one Diabloster card, and that's, at least monster, and that's her, level 7 spellcaster. When she's summoned, and that can be by her own effect, that can be, let's say, if during your opponent's turn she's sent to the graveyard, you can, reborn herself by sending another card from your hand or field to the graveyard. So you see why, those dead field spells, useless monsters in hand are, could be used, and that's why I focused on potential field spells or, quote-unquote dead field spells that, make themselves a plus with Alistair, for example. I played the Kashtira field spell as well with Fenrir, etc., but wasn't really liking it that much. So what I was saying is that if your level 7 spellcaster is summoned, you can search like the Hero Lives for the Snake Eye archetype, which I'm currently running 1. But I feel, with more pure, I guess you can bump it up to either 2 or 3. Thing is that, and that's where I feel that Quick Play spell is a 3-off, simply because that Quick Play spell can banish itself from the graveyard to send back any, tainted spell or trap from your graveyard back to the deck. That includes the trap. The trap, it's basically an Omni negation, it's not a counter trap, or their Hero Lives for Snake Eye. So that's why, and there are multiple other engines in the deck as well, so I wanted to keep the deck at 40 cards, or maybe a little over 40, simply because of this, Shell replenishes itself, the Horus cards, etc. So this is a hero lifts. Send any, I use Giant Trainer for 3 draws and then it's useless on the field, so you just send it to the graveyard, and that turns on your Snake-Eye engine, which is blue. Blue is your Stratos, and again, blue and green, the one you see here on the field, both have the effect that Lone Fire Blossom themselves by sending another card you control to the graveyard to tutor another Snake-Eye monster from your deck, which eventually will be your boss. There's one other level 1, the one you see here in my graveyard, far on top or under shell, is that you can special summon itself for free to the field, and then during your opponent's turn, you can Lone Fire Blossom, for example, the boss. So the gimmick of Tainted and Snake-Eye is to get both of your, at least the level 8 and the level 7, the Spellcaster, on your side of the field, simply because you have like that, it's not an infinite engine, but, when the boss is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 2 level 1s, when she is sent to the graveyard, you can send something else, special summon herself, get another search, so it's a small loop going between both of them. And that's, I feel, the thing you want to go forward to most for this particular archetype, for now at least. So Kashtira, Baron is there because of Jet Synchron, and that's a cool gimmick, is that you can search Jet Synchron. As you saw one of the replays, I was also running what is it called? The Synchron Searcher. Yeah, you know which one I mean. Yeah, that one. With the new Revolution Synchron, the level 3 one, with, Ancient Fairy Dragon to potentially pop your field spell, search the archetype field spell, etc. But that was a little bit too much. I don't think it's needed. But, it's a cool gimmick, especially because Ancient Fairy Dragon searches, one of your field spells. You could search the in-field, at least the in-archetype field spell. Problem is that the Snake-Eye field spell is not the best. It's an okay field spell. It's, puts one of your Snake-Eyes directly from the deck, for example, to, your face-up continuous spell and trap card zone. But that's cool. Your opponent summons something, you can special summon one of your monsters that being treated as a continuous spell or trap. So it's cool, but it's not like the Kashtira field spell or the Invoked field spell where, I don't need to explain those, right? You see how much better they are. But it's fine if you can search it with Ancient Fairy Dragon, or, use Ancient Fairy Dragon to pop their planet, search one of your field spells. You get the point. So go second. And that's the thing with the archetype is that I feel triple Ash, triple Imperm is fine. You could maybe squeeze in Dark Rulers, maybe over Imperm, it depends. But, if you're going second, you definitely need those. So here, there's a couple of negations I need to battle through. Red was a lot, and here I kind of... because of the draw, because of, you discarded your Horus, Surge, Sark, and then you get another draw. I drew Imperm, and that's fantastic because that prevents a potential Unicorn from coming out, so my Sark is safe face upon field, but Runic is a terrible matchup simply because of Mystical Space Typhoon, the destruction, so that was a problem. Close one, because, otherwise I would have had my Horus engine full intact, couple of draws with Giant Trainer, and who knows. So last Duel going second, and this is definitely a solid opening hand. I'm only running double blue, as in the Snake-Eye blue, because again, Alistair is your normal summon. If you don't have access to Alistair, then your blue is just a fine normal summon, but again, your Snake-Eyes are special summonable off of your hero lifts, which is searchable by your level 7 spellcaster, so you get the point. So let's see, a couple of negations, try to use Alistair, which is getting negated, and I mean, this play is fine, I guess, but we see the hand that, there's much fuel left. So drop the Spellcaster by sending the useless field spell to the graveyard. It's getting bounced back. That's okay-ish. Problem is that the hero lifts needs a card on your side of the field. But this was a sick top deck. Kurikara top deck. Getting rid of one card or 2 cards. Yeah, 2 cards. But most importantly, was able to special summon it and attack over Carrot. And, no Carrot. That means I can activate the Sark field spell. And now I was about to say this is a clean, swift comeback, but I make a small mistake. Overlook Giant Trainer's effect. So I already went into the battle phase, and I was like, okay, go for Masquerina, you know, basically setting myself up for next turn. The big boss was sent to the graveyard, so, you know, Reborn, double level 2, draw Jet Synchron, fantastic. So go for Unicorn, bounce back, Gigantic Sprite, yeah. Go for Giant Trainer. I was like, okay, I want to draw 3, but then I was like, alright, I went into my battle phase, so no draw. So, you know, that would have been or should have been a Titanic Galaxy. But here again, more follow a place. I can special summon their Fenrir to my side of the field. Use Formula Synchron to go for Baron. I can't trigger my level 8. Well, I could have, but then I would not have been able to negate Fenrir, right? Because again, it would have been at least in between Fenrir and Baron. So that was a problem. No Reborn. And here is where Titanic Galaxy could have been useful, but it is what it is. So draw the 9 pillars for the archetype, but it needs a level 7 spellcaster, which, you know, is the Tainted Witch, or, you know, the Dark Witch. So get the level 8 on field, and that, you know, get that small loop going, set the trap, and then as soon as it's your opponent's turn, get your Witch on the field. She's special summoned to search any of your tainted spells for next turn. Any card my opponent activates will just get negated by the trap, and, you know, the trap is recyclable by that quick play spell. So now I can, you know, put that, or at least their Fenrir, into their spell and trap card. So immediately during their turn, special summon it to my side of the field. So then again, that's a really cool gimmick. Ash on Pot, another talent is getting activated, which is indeed getting negated. Tribute or sacrifice my Witch. Well, Witch, yeah, Dark Witch, sent anything from my side of the field to the graveyard to get herself back. Sadly, that only works during their turn, during your opponent's turn. Plus, and that's also a small bummer, is that Witch searches something, sets something, but you can't use that set card during the same turn, and that's a small bummer. Imagine searching the trap for more negation. So it's really cool, but pure Snake Eye Tainted is a bit too weak-ish, bit too fair. Who knows, we get more support, but, you know, pair them up with Horus and maybe even Invoked with the field spell engine. I like it. So all suggestions are definitely welcome. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. League, I'm signing out. Peace.